So starting over here, we have each of these stickies is a task known as user story. And this is the area, I've forgotten the name for it, but the name's not really important.
Right.
What it does is, and this is a way for me to sort through every genre of
Yep.
every task I'm gonna have.
Right, so these things along the top constitute a spine, the curricular spine,
There.
and each of the cards at the top is a vertebra of that spine curriculum.
Yeah, so here I have all of my wood turning related tasks, and those are, and every user story starts its life here. So I have all my turning stuff, my intro to business, so that's learning how to budget, learning how to budget, and
Yep.
watching like some webinars that we have
Yep.
scheduled for how to run a business.
Yep.
Financial literacy, that's thinking of learning financial risk and.
And you don't need to detail it, you're
Yeah.
just like to the top
I
level.
want to give an example. For
Okay,
each.
okay.
Just my personal stuff, like I need to visit Williams so I can go see Heather. I want to go visit Brother Arnold, that kind of stuff. This is for applying to college and all that stuff that's gonna get done. This isn't really gonna start filling up until maybe a month or two in. Then I have my internship schedule, which is kind of barren right now. I gotta fill that in, but this is where I'm gonna put the stuff that has to do with my college counseling internship and that. And then this last one is for my TA ships and working in the KIC as a KIC advisor.
Perfect.
And then so the second stage in the life of user story, which is what each of these are, is it gets moved over to the to-do section.
Yep. And so this is called a Kanban board.
So that's made up of the to-do section, the doing section, and the done section. Things get moved over here, and so they're pretty much on deck. They're about to take the field. And then things only get moved into the doing section at the start of every sprint. A sprint is, for me, Friday to Thursday. And so about a 1 week. And this has all the tasks that need to be done within that week. Each task has a point value based on numbers in the Fibonacci sequence for difficulty in completion. And here, if you look at this, we have what's known as a burn down chart. That burn down chart is a way for you to track how many total points you have to complete, and when points are getting knocked off, and how many points you have left in that sprint. I started this week with about 46 points worth of work, and I have about 12 points left. And this sprint ends coming up Monday. It's getting resorted. And then after user story has been moved from to do to doing and then finished, it gets moved over to the done area. So this is where all the user stories that I've completed this week live.
Yep.
And I'll go over what is in here in a minute, but those then eventually get added to this stack, which hopefully should start growing immeasurably.
Yeah, good. Last thing is just to talk about.
Yeah. And then over on the ye old chalkboard is the weekly plan, or like the weekly calendar. And so my Mondays are pretty much open. They start at 8:45 with the Young Founders meeting that goes all the way to 10:15. And that can cut off early depending if we have how much we have to do. And then I'm pretty much open for the rest of the day. That may change depending on if the theater needs me, so on and so forth. Tuesdays are one of my heavy days. I have in the mornings robotics, then during the A block period or D block period, and then I have about 15-minute meeting here in our classroom, and then I have to TA woodshop. Wednesdays aren't really much different, except for I have a Young Founders meeting during breakfast, and we just sit down and have our standard check-in, just not in the classroom. We might stop by here, it varies. Thursdays are where my sprints are going to end. So at 8:45, I have a Young Founders meeting where we do what's known as backlog refinement. So this area, this is known as my backlog. So we're gonna go through here, sort out what belongs where. If any user stories are too big, they get chopped down and separated. And then we move stuff over to the to-do and pretty much fill this up enough so we have enough for the next sprint and some extra to pull into the sprint if we run out of things to do. So, and that's my Thursdays. My Fridays are probably my heaviest day. It starts with 8:45 to 10:15, I'm TAing woodshop, and then morning meeting, and then I'm immediately thrown into robotics. After robotics, there's lunch, and then I have a Young Founders meeting that goes to about up to 5:30, where we're doing sprint review, which is we go back over what happened this week. We do what I'm doing now, send you guys a video of how the week went, what I got done that week. And then we do a sprint retrospective, which is how well did this last week go and what can we do to improve and make that more efficient in the future. And then finally, our last step for Fridays is sprint planning. And that's because this is the official start of the next sprint. And so we will take things that are user stories here in to-do and move those over into the doing section to then add up all the point values we give it and create a new burn down chart to get ready to work through those during the week.
Good job. Well done.